firstly, what are you saying? What's going on? How are you?
I'm alive. I'm knackered, bro. I can't wait to just do this episode and go sleep.
Oh, tell me about it.
I can't wait. I can't. You basically got no sleep.
Fam. I got we're just for context, we're recording this at 10:30 at night on a Sunday. And I got a flight at the car's coming to get me at 3:30 in the morning. Yeah,
you can make
I just
3
found
hours sleep, maybe.
I had a nap before. I slept before I came here.
Okay.
I slept for 3 hours before I came here.
Yeah.
Which was a big, strong nap here. But you know what? Even though I know that was necessary, naps are not for me, bro.
Yeah. I had a nap today.
Do they work for you?
Nah, I can fall asleep in like many places. I can do that. But as in, but
Are you one of them?
I don't love naps unless I needed it. Last night was a long night again. I woke up, had football this morning, and then just by happenstance, no one was in my house. There's no kids. Napping's hard for me if there's kids in my house. There's no such thing. You just hear shit.
Yeah. You just hear shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the reason why naps don't work for me, bro, is because I don't wake up in good moods.
No, I wake up feeling worse.
Yeah, I don't wake up in good moods, and so I've noticed now with naps, I wake up in the same way that I wake up in the morning. I'm very appreciative of what I'm doing for my work. I really am. Mm-hmm. But you see that first 1 minute when I wake up, that first 1 minute is rage. Yeah. And then I got to simmer down into the next 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. And then once I'm up and out, then I'm in. Do you understand what I'm saying? But other than that, bro, the naps thing it just doesn't work for me, bro.
Yeah, it's like an entree. That's it. It's like tapas.
Yes.
Give me the real food.
Yeah, I just want to exactly. Yeah. And to be honest with you as well, I feel like I never have enough sleep. Even if I got the biggest sleep, bro, I feel like I'd still wake up and not feel like super fresh and be like,
I'm getting tired even just now talking about
it. Is it?
That's it.
Yeah, let's get out of the sleep talk thing, boy. Man's eyelids are dropping.
I'm just going.
But boom, yesterday, fucking big fight yesterday.
Madness.
Let's start with that, yeah. You went to the fight.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit on like that experience of being there at that fight. Like,
it was crazy. To be fair, I said before, because everyone was asking me throughout the week, obviously, are you going? I think I've been to AJ's last however many fights, regardless of what country it's been in and all of that, through the JD thing. But now, because I've moved to Sky Sports and Boxer, and this was a Matchroom promotion, I was just like, oh, can I be bothered to go? First of all, I'd had a big night the night before. I'd had to go to Stamford Bridge and work the Chelsea game, and we lost. So you know that everything's going wrong.
Yeah, your vibe's down a bit.
All day I've just been saying, I'm watching at home. And in my head I had, unless I get some bad boy tickets, or I'm in like the bougiest of bougie boxes, I'm not going, because like football stadium boxing is great for atmosphere, but it's not really great for if you're trying to watch the ring. You're essentially watching the centre circle.
Yeah, 100%.
So for me, I was just like, maybe the best seat might be my sofa.
Yeah.
But then
sorry to interrupt you, but especially as like a proper boxing fan.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to see.
My thing is, if you don't get commentary, obviously.
Right.
So, and if I'm not getting commentary and I'm not getting analysis, then I definitely am going to need some good seats.
Yeah.
Or I'd most likely be in a box and I'll be watching the TV. I wouldn't be watching from my seat, looking at the ring. I'll be watching the TV in the box, listening. But yeah, some magic tickets come out of nowhere. Big up JD at around 5 o'clock.
Right.
And now I'm just like, because I didn't really want to go. I was knackered. But I have to go. Yeah. And now I want to go. So I've taken 2 green tea tablets and a Red Bull.
Strong.
And I'm like, let's go. Hospitality as well. So it's like all the like you get all the trimmings, all the you food,
the steak,
open bar, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The broccoli.
So yeah, I need to be careful doing football matches and boxing like this, because I'm building up a false sense of what these occasions really are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need to stop. I need to really I need to go sit in the crowd.
Talk more on that. Like, why did you say that?
Well, do you know what it is? Yeah, like going to football matches and stuff like that. It's good. Like, especially when you're younger, you sit in a crowd, it's about the atmosphere, you watch the match, blah, 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 it's great. But then once you start going to the match 2 hours early and they're giving you Prosecco and roast this.
Yeah, quick broccoli,
That's
gravy,
and salted caramel pudding.
But I don't you see, like, there's always broccoli in the boozy thing.
Of course.
And rocket.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
Like, they love it,
Exactly.
Cauliflower.
But you don't see lettuce, you know.
Nah.
That's a lower class thing.
Nah, the spinach.
Yeah,
and
right.
Rocket.
Yeah, rocket.
That's it.
And broccoli.
That's it.
Love broccoli.
So, and it makes it harder to go back to normality because that becomes the norm after a while. Just sitting in boxes, picking up 3 points. Like I did it, and because I went the last week, I went and mashed up Tottenham already 3-0 at their ground in the NFL suite. So like I was so I was so used to the ground that I thought I'm going cool.
Yeah.
My guy Florian was fighting at. It was meant to be 7, but it started at 6.
Yeah, I saw a little bit.
So
of that.
I watched that on TV.
Yeah.
Made sure he got the win, and then got in my car and drove to Tottenham Stadium.
I was supposed to go because I got the phone call saying obviously the pattern's there or whatever,
Yeah.
and then that didn't come through at the last moment, and so it was funny because it was like I went from like not really being fussed about going to then the opportunity for it to happen, then it didn't happen, and I was like, But then imagine this, yeah. Like someone that I know, she's like DM'd me and that, and she's like, "Yo, you about?" And I'm like, I just said, "Yo, what's good?" And then she was like, "Oh yeah, I got like tickets to the AJ fight. Yeah, do you want to come?" This time it's like 8 o'clock. So I'm like, I'm driving around trying to find petrol at this point now. Yeah? We'll talk about that a little bit later. So I'm like, oh, you know what? So I've rang her and I'm like, I'm in a tracksuit and that. Like, this is just all a bit mad. She was like, oh, no, like, it's just so random, whatever, but I want to go, I don't want to go on my own, boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to go. Because in my mind, I was thinking, I was at Wembley. But then I was like, you know what? I don't even know if the whip's going to even get me to Wembley. Yeah. And then it's the whole drama of everyone leaving and then I'm stuck in traffic and all of that. So she's like, it's not Wembley, you know, it's in Tottenham. And I was like, nah, it's definitely amazing. Yeah. Because I know going all the way up there, then obviously it's just too mad for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? 100%. But even then, like, I did think the same thing as well, yeah, about like the stadium boxing thing. Like when I went to New York and I watched the AJ fight there, I was actually quite surprised at how much you could actually see.
No, that's the arena. That's the arena.
Exactly. That's a whole different thing. Yeah. But when I was looking at the actual stadium, and just seeing like because it wasn't even just how big it is, it's like how wide it is. Essentially, it's good for the atmosphere.
It's designed to watch. Arenas are designed to watch at the very most, like basketball. Yeah, and even that's a small court. You can't. You can just bit like you'll fit 10 basketball courts on a football pitch, maybe more. To be fair, maybe 20. So, like arenas are built to have good views, regardless of where you're sitting. Kind of.
Yeah.
Football is a different ball game. It's just like it's vast, isn't it? It's sick atmosphere, but if you're trying to watch something real small. Like certain times you're watching a football match, you can't even work out who's who. Let alone trying to work out if someone's left hook landed. So
I guess there could have been a small argument to say, you know what, sometimes having them in these type of stadiums, is good for the person who's fighting at home because you've got so much moral support, that is there, and it's daunting sometimes for the person who's not from the country to step in that arena and no one's fucking with you. But wouldn't you say that that's dependent on the man still though?
Nah, as in, so when Usyk was on the way to the ring before he even get there, the first thing I said, his job is to silence the crowd. It can be done. When things aren't going your way, you'll see it goes silent. It probably did it in New York. It just goes silent.
Brother, I could hear man punching each other in the face.
It goes quiet, like when things aren't going. And once you do that, you just take the crowd out of the equation.
And then that becomes the thrill.
And now it's crazy. Now it's just a spot. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Because that becomes the thrill, and then there's almost pressure on the home guy
to get the crowd going
again.
So it can work for and against you. Depends on what kind of fighter you are, I reckon. But the seats were sick. The after we've had the hospitality, all of that, walk through. But you know, like you're just going past like the crowd, and then you're going past outer ringside, and then boom, you're on inner ringside now. Like you're in the mix, like next to everyone. Like everyone was there, innit? It was a who's who.
Yeah, I see.
It's a full blown who's who inside that in the mix. You show me.
Was you suited up?
No, I wouldn't know. Hoodie and jeans. So I did think about it, but
because that's the traditional thing.
It is.
Where does that come from, by the way? Because even as the suits come, like that's even people do that even at the amateurs, like the super like
boxing's considered like a full blown like. Some people wear a waistcoat. It just depends what other people go in a tracksuit. I'll tell you the reason I just wore jeans and a hoodie. If I was working that fight, that was the first fight I've been to in a long time that I haven't been working. If I was working that fight, I'd have been ringside and I would have been in a tracksuit.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm just like, this is like for a lot of people who are coming to watch this as a spectacle, they're gonna obviously dress to the nines as you should and blah 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 blah. But for me, it almost still felt like I was working. Just felt business as usual. So I just kind of just went for comfort, man.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So did loads of people. I didn't feel out of place because I was in a hoodie and jeans.
Yeah.
And then boom. So obviously the spectacle begins.
Before the fight actually happened, how did you see it? What did it look like?
So I had a breakdown, of what I thought this fight looked like, and it was kind of what I thought it was gonna get. The whole week, and in the build up, I'd been getting little. I hadn't spoken to AJ at all about this fight, but I'd heard little things that he said, and I'd seen him with a chessboard in front of him a lot and stuff like that, and just things that for me insinuated he wants to box Usyk, which I thought was a bit risky. Or I didn't think it's risky, but I thought you're even in the playing field if you do that. Yeah. But obviously that was just me reading into what he was saying about chess and certain moves and all of that kind of thing. I felt like, he's not going to try and steamroll him here. He's going to try and box him.
Why would it have been even in the playing field? Is it because obviously Usyk, his usual weight is him being...
He's probably one of the best cruiserweights ever, yeah? But cruiserweight is capped at 200 pounds or 90 kg, I think it is, yeah? Obviously, once you go above that and you're into the heavyweight, there's no limit. You're fighting giants, and AJ's been a giant. He's been 18 stone. He's a big boy. That's what I'm saying. He's physically bigger than Usyk. In my eyes, I would be trying to make a small man feel small if I'm fighting him.
Right.
It takes a bit of bollocks and all of that shit, but as in, like, I would try and make him feel small, intimidated, just vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting a giant. I need you to feel like you're fighting the real giant now. I need you to feel scared. But I think AJ doesn't like the fact that people don't rate his boxing skills.
I would agree with that.
And I think because of it, he wants to prove a point sometimes when perhaps the style might be better for him to just bulldoze it.
Would you say that's a slight insecurity?
Maybe it might be an ego thing, or it might just be that the thing that you want to prove people wrong.
Right.
But either way, I just think when you start doing that and you sometimes go away from what would be your natural advantages, you're even in the playing field for no real reason.
Yeah.
Like, the last thing you want to do, in my opinion, is box a boxer. You fight a boxer.
Right.
Last thing you want to do is fight a fighter. You box a fighter.
Strong. Would you say though, see like the when he fought Ruiz, yeah?
Yeah.
So like on what you said,
yeah,
with the first fight, it was almost like, and just correct me if I'm wrong here, yeah? It was almost like he was on the super heavyweight thing, whatever. He's trying to bulldoze, man. He's being caught, whatever. The outcome has happened, and he's lost the fight. Yeah. In the second fight, it seemed like he boxed more.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's. Am I right in saying that he seemed a tad bit slimmer as well in that fight?
Nah,
was that for cardio purposes?
He weighed pretty
much the same.
Similar. Yeah.
Okay. But he it seemed like his style was a lot more keep a man at a distance. And box from there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's easier to do against someone who's 6'1",
right? And
you've got actual height and reach advantage.
Okay,
you still got to work for it. Like, it's not easy, but it's easier to do against someone who is put on weight, he's got fatter,
right,
and is a bit ploddish.
Got you.
and rather than someone who bounces around, a genuine cruiserweight who's quicker than you and like faster. Like even the way he thinks he's called the cat. The guy's reflexes are crazy. Like he is like kind of an anomaly for a cruiserweight. He's very slick. He's like a Lomachenko, a cruiserweight version.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was just thinking, I was interested in the weight when he weighed in, and he weighed in at 17.2 or whatever it was, 240 pounds. I thought it's not as heavy as it's been, but he kept saying he hadn't been watching weight, and I hear that. But I read into things, even if they're not there, and if it wasn't deliberate. In my head, 240 means you want to fight how you've been fighting for your last couple of fights, which is against Pulev and Ruiz.
Right.
Which is kind of safety first, not dance, but like have a look. And then when you land something, then you can follow up on it, on your success, which I think he's been doing since the Klitschko fight, to be fair. I think the Klitschko fight was the last fight I saw him behave like a beast. And it almost came unstuck, but he managed to go to the well, find it, and get him out of there. Since then, he had fought, obviously, Povetkin. He was quite calculated in that. And that was rocky in stages as well. So I think he's tried to adopt slightly more of a safety first method to his boxing, where he minimizes risk, waits for an opportunity and pounces. Except that if you're doing that against a cruiserweight, you allow him to grow into the fight. And Usyk came out flying.
Well, this is it. Like, this was probably the first time in a long time that I didn't watch a lot of build up, because see, for me, like, usually what I'll do is I'll watch a lot of like IFL TV and I'll listen to a lot of professionals and hear what they're saying, because obviously I'm not a boxing specialist, so I like to listen to specialists talk about it, so that I can, like, sometimes I might
get
see
a better gauge,
I get a better gauge of certain things, and also I see certain things and I'm like, am I seeing this a certain way? So sometimes it's good to be able to hear people either co-sign what you're saying or rubbish it, and you understand what I'm saying. But this time I actually didn't and get to watch any of it, just 'cause life circumstances or whatever. So I'm literally now haven't watched much build up, haven't watched much people talking. I'm only hearing people talking like literally on the day while my man's walking around talking to people or whatever. And like, I knew how Usyk was considered. Yeah, and I knew that it was a tricky fight for man. Yeah. But I think that, like, when it started, for me, I was like, oh gosh, like, he's like super unorthodox. He's very like jiggy, like proper bare slipping and that, whatever. And then, like, immediately I started to notice that, what was it? He kept catching him with the left, or was it his right hand?
No, it was both. But as in,
he was like jabbing with one, but he kept like
hitting sweep the left around the side. Like, he's good, bro. Like, as in, he's very, very good. And stylistically, he's kind of all wrong for AJ, because he has what AJ doesn't, and AJ kind of has what he doesn't. But AJ, I think, was trying to match him at what he does. Right. He don't have the brute strength, sheer size and power of AJ, but he has all the slippery skills.
He obviously has the what do you call it? Because I want to say a word without sounding rude or patronizing, but it's almost like even though he may not have the size and all of that type of stuff, he probably has the most important thing, which is the brain in dealing with that. Yeah. So if your brain is smarter than someone else's,
well, do you know what it is? There's some things that like you can measure punch output. You can measure power based on KOs and all of that, but it's hard to measure shot selection and like decision making. Yeah, he makes very good decisions. Like even things like when he gets clipped, he doesn't run away. He don't make too much out of it. He gets back in the face because he needs you. With AJ, AJ knows if he thinks you're hurt, he's coming.
He's coming for you. Yeah.
So he's like a dog. You kind of got to undo that before that even enters his mind. You got to be back and ready so that he thinks you're not ready to go yet. Yeah. But even before the fight, I thought AJ would try and box him. I thought it would be the wrong idea, but I'm not AJ. Yeah. And I'm also like, I could sit here on a sofa and do this and
of course.
But in reality, he's got big professionals that have probably studied this way harder than I have. 100%. I'm looking at this from like a super duper naked eye kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. Like, obviously, like, it's a whole because like, there's these lot are dealing with it at a super.
But sometimes you do overcomplicate things.
Well, this is it, and I think sometimes, would you agree with this as well? Yeah, it's that like ultimately, it's a game plan thing, isn't it? It's like AJ's game plan could have been flawless for a next man. Do you understand what I'm saying? My man's game plan just happened to be,
But he stuck to it so well.
was so good, and you know what? I felt like in the first 2 rounds when I kept seeing him catching him with the left, I was saying to myself, AJ needs to find an answer for that. I don't know what it is, but he needs to find an answer for it because he keeps getting like not hit hard with it, but enough to let you know
he's hitting hard. It's respect.
Yeah, and it's
no respect,
and it's annoying.
Yeah.
If you ever sparred with someone, and you know you're trying to slip, you're trying to move, whatever it is, and then they keep just like it's just annoying.
I'll tell you what it is. It's not like, trust me, these are hard punches. It's just that AJ.
No, I'm just using that as an example.
But for me, I thought the fight would look like that for a while. But I thought after AJ realizes maybe it's not great to box him, that you start to bulldoze him. But if your confidence is slightly taken away from you in those few rounds where you try to box him, you have to dig even deeper than you thought you'd have to dig to bulldoze.
So when you say bulldoze, are you talking like
I'm talking almost shell up and punch anything. So AJ's looking for good shots, but the head is so slippery that you can't. He's making you gun shy because you don't want to fly over his shoulder. You might get countered or you might get hurt. You got hurt early on in the fight or whatever it is. Hit anything. You know, like just throw 5 shots, bam, bam. Just make him feel the weight, the sheer size of you. You know what I'm saying? But also he was a little bit lighter than he could have been. So maybe the sheer size and the power, he couldn't get his right hand going. He couldn't get, and that's your answer for a southpaw. Like the same way that Usyk was catching him with a straight left is an equivalent to how AJ's right hand would land if he shot it. But to shoot it, you can't second guess it. You kind of gotta it's weird fighting the opposite stance. But AJ couldn't find an answer for him. He couldn't find an answer. That's the main issue here, is that he tried to box him and it didn't go right. But then there probably was a plan B. Yeah. But he couldn't execute it.
Yeah. And I thought that Usyk was going to tire out.
Now,
and then I think he came out, was it like the 9th or 10th round fast? Yeah. I was like,
he can do that forever. Like, he's literally got so much mental stamina, and you get tired if he's in front of you because he's doing so much of that you start to feel a little bit just like, oh, fucking hell, man, when's this guy going to fucking stop? Because you have to take everything seriously. He feints, and then you don't feint, and then it's a shot. But you've got to take all 3 of those seriously. Like the feint, you have to take seriously. You have to react to it because if it's not a feint, you're getting hit. Yeah. So he just makes you mentally tired. He's a nightmare. Yeah. He's a genuine nightmare. For me, fuck boxing him. That's not your bag. Yeah. You fight that. You fight him. Like Chisora fought Usyk.
Yeah.
And Chisora said,
say that.
Chisora's crude.
Yeah.
But Chisora's just like, fuck it, man. I ain't playing your game. You're coming into my division. Right. It didn't work out, but it was closer than a lot of people
I was going to say, even in that fight there, I know that Chisora was trying to make this a proper dogfight, and it was working to a degree.
Usyk wasn't comfortable for a while.
Exactly, and it seemed like it was a lot more trickier for him. And obviously, I would believe that AJ is a better fighter than Chisora. Adopting that same style, he would have implemented that even better than Chisora did. I don't know how it would have ended up looking. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But that's what I was expecting at some point. I didn't think he'd do it early because I've seen all the chessboards and I've seen all the quotes. I thought he was going to try and play him at his own game and he thought he could do it. Yeah. But I thought that if it doesn't go to plan, shell up and walk him down. But by that point, the confidence is done. It's gone from that to that. And now you're trying to
What round would you say that you've What do you think that there was a point where it seemed as though AJ's spirit was broken a little bit?
I'll say 8th or 9th. Yeah. As in, we've seen AJ get out of trouble before when he's not been winning fights or not been looking great. Yeah. But because he carries his power late, you think he's still got a chance to get out. But I remember thinking around 8 rounds, I was like, I don't think he gets out. Yeah. At trouble this time because AJ's getting more tired. and it almost appeared that Usyk had the exact same level of sharpness in terms of moving his head. You can't catch him clean. You almost have to get lucky because he's just moving so much. Like, you can't even really sit down and whack a right hand on him because you don't even know where he's gonna be. By the time you throw it, he might be over there. Like, that's it. It's long. So that's why I would have walked him down, shelled up. You might have to take a couple on the way in, but you got to make Usyk negative. Even if it's not to knock him out, it's to at least put these rounds in the bank for the scorecards.
What was I gonna say? This was one thing that I noticed a few people was talking about, by the way. So, like, a few people were saying that they felt like AJ was gonna come from behind on the scorecards and then knock him out.
Yeah.
So when I started to see how this was panning out, I was thinking, this ain't looking good, but in my mind, my man's going to tire out later on. AJ will start mashing the works on him or whatnot. But I think it was the same sort of thing where you was at, where when it got to like the 8th or 9th round, the pendulum wasn't swinging the other way. Do you get what I'm saying? The tide didn't seem like it was turning. And so because of that, I was like, I don't know. At this point, he definitely needs a knockout. Does he know that? I mean, I'm sure you would feel that anyway, maybe. That you'd feel that you need to like apply some different type of pressure or whatnot. But I just thought, I don't know if this is going to happen.
Nah, as in, like, you know what you need to do. It's just, can you do it? That's it. You know what you got to do, but can you do it? Because this guy in front of you knows what he has to do as well. And he actually starts trying to knock you out, makes you more negative when you're trying to be more positive. It's just a nightmare. Honestly, that is... AJ weren't great. He was a little bit flat. I thought he fought the wrong fight, whatever it is. It's cool, you lose. Like, you're fighting world-class fighters. It happens. But Usyk was incredible.
Yeah, he was good. That's the thing. You can't talk about AJ's loss without giving credit to Usyk for how good he actually really was.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe that. Like, takes fucking bollocks, bro. To do that, it takes some balls. Like, you've come to England, you're fighting the guy.
Brother, I saw him in the ring. You see when he came out.
When I saw him come out with the helmet thing on, I thought, bad boy.
Yeah, so a madman. This is how I saw it as well. Yeah, when I saw him in the actual ring, this was just before AJ come walking out or whatever, and they kept showing him in that. I was like, he literally looks like a Don who's on his ones, who's just on smoke. It's like he ain't got no brethrens with him. He ain't got no trainers with him. He literally just looked like he was on his own, but he was prepared for whatever.
But you know, that's what he does. He goes to people's countries and just fucks up everything. He's like the away fighter. He's gone everywhere and beaten everyone in their own country. Yeah. Like, he doesn't fight out of Ukraine. He goes Germany and beats Germans. He goes America and beats America. I'm not even sure if he has done that. He comes Britain, he beats the British fighters. Like, he's good.
Yeah, he's not a dickhead.
And the thing is, I thought the size so there was a part in my head, like, bear in mind this guy's an amateur standout star as well. Like, AJ, I think maybe had like 30 odd 35 amateur fights. This guy had 350.
Okay.
It's a different, like, so when you're looking at size, I look at size and I'm like, he's bigger than him and he's good and he's powerful. That should play a part in this fight, but then you have to take into consideration like the pedigree of Usyk. Like, he's got real life pedigree. Like, there's a reason he's swept up everything. Like, he just leaves a mess everywhere he goes.
This wouldn't be AJ's fault, but I'd be interested to hear like where you stand on this. With what you just said, is there like an argument to say that in some way, like, AJ is being put in a situation with the height of like being Anthony Joshua and all of that, and like and the responsibility now that in which he has as a boxer to fight the best, and also he'd naturally want to do that anyway. He would want to do that anyway. But do you think that, take all of that aside, all the notoriety, everything, and just looking at the human being itself, would you say that in some way, like, because of that, it's just not, I don't want to say fast tracked, but mad, like, it's just very early for him to be taking those type of fights?
You can't. You're world champion. You're unified. Like, there is no turning back. Once you win a world title, you're now being hunted. Same way that you're hunting for other titles, people are after you. So you don't. And also, how long has he been in pro now? I think since 2012, 20
So it's been a while. But I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying because this. Okay, just to be clear, yeah, I'm not saying that in the sense of because obviously naturally, if you are a champion, you have to do that, innit?
Yeah, mandatory.
But see, yeah, exactly. But prior to that moment, it's like. Remember, AJ was having these fights and he was knocking people out very quickly. And everyone was turning around and saying, they started to get to that point of, well, he's not fighting. He needs to fight this person and he needs to do that. And it's like, naturally, he would want to do that anyway. I would, you would. Anyone that has a competitive nature in them is going to just want to keep fighting the best, yeah? But we as a country and as a nation, we're looking at this guy knocking people out mad early and then getting hungry for him to then want to be the person that like is going to be the savior of boxing and do X, Y, and Z. So now we want to see him fight this one and that one and this one and that one. Where you know what? Taking all of that aside, if no one didn't know this guy, would it have been bad for him to take another 10 of those type of fights?
Yeah, but do you know what? There's levels and then there's levels. So for example, AJ can beat 99% of fighters out there in terms of whether it be by boxing them, his height and reach, sheer power, whatever it is. Like he's got certain things in him that will always be able to win fights. That's not his problem. The problem is that there are certain styles that are gonna be worse for him than others. Do you know what I'm saying? If he's fighting a short ploddy puncher, at least he has attributes to get rid of that. Fighting, I thought he would win this fight.
Let me press you more though.
But I'm saying this one there, you're fighting. This is the best fighter in terms of skill set he's ever fought. Cool, size he's given away. Usyk's given away. But I'm saying in terms of skill set, he'll never fight a fighter better than Usyk. Right. No, Usyk is the one. Like even Fury is a great boxer and he moves incredibly for a heavyweight. But it's not like Usyk.
Yeah, different.
Usyk can fight small, he can fight tall, he can do all of it. Tyson Fury will fight kind of tall and be back there, keep you back there. Yeah, he's good. He's very good at what he does. But this kind of level of skill, he'll never come across it again.
Let me just press you just one more time on this a little bit, yeah? Would AJ have been able to, would this country have had the patience to have AJ have that amount of fights that Usyk had in his amateurs? Remember you said that he had like 300 or something.
Yeah.
Do you think that this country would have had the patience to do? Because I feel like we wouldn't have. I feel like the moment we start hearing,
we got bare amateurs. We got people. We got Fraser Clark who's just turning pro now.
How many?
He would have had loads. It depends on how long. The thing is, as an amateur, you're gonna constantly, because you're not in a contractual agreement when you're an amateur, constantly have people knocking on the door, offering you millions of pounds to be a fighter.
Right.
Now you can do your apprenticeship for free or for whatever the salary is on the GB squad, or you could take £1 million or your few £1 million or your however many pounds it is, and you can learn on the job, which is what AJ did, and he did it well at a time where, get me, like he smashed through the domestic scene. No one could keep up with him there. Smashed through, I think, did he go Europeans? He smashed through, whatever he did, he smashed through the Europeans. Yeah. He was killing them because like there's not a huge pool of great fighters in heavyweight. So on your way up, you're going to smash them.
Yeah, I hear that still.
And then when you go and win a world title, that is you essentially declaring a higher type of warfare. You're not staying high. That's the highest you can be.
And you have to take
That's it. Yeah. And now you got to defend your belt. You can't just, when you're a domestic rival just coming up, you can fight kind of who you want depending on what's going on. Yeah. When you're a world champion, you have mandatories. You have this, you have so many things to consider. He's a big brand, Olympic gold medalist. He didn't really have a choice. Yeah. And it was good for when you look at it properly, his career is, let's have it right. Like he may have not as great a skill set as Usyk, but in terms of like what he's achieved in boxing, money, like he's gone crazy. Like when you think about it properly, like he went mad. Yeah. But you're only as good as your last fight. You know how how people are. Like it's one of those things where if you get beat, forget what you did. Like, boxing's what have you done for me lately?
Now.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what-
yeah.
that's-
Everyone
that's
wants
it.
to see you win now, and
That's it.
if you lose now, then you're the shittest fighter of all time and all of that type of
That's
stuff
it.
and whatever.
But I tell you what I would like.
noticed straight away that like this guy is not. He didn't lose to a clown. He
No.
lost to someone who was very, very good, and people consider as a flipping Hall of Famer.
Yeah, 100%. And so is AJ. Bottom line, these are big. The only reason this is a big talking point is because he's a cruiserweight that's come up to heavyweight and he's dethroned AJ. That's the headline.
That's the headline within people that understand boxing.
Yeah.
With people that don't understand boxing, it's just AJ lost.
Yeah, but I think AJ lost. They'd accept it if it was a Fury or even a Wilder.
Oh,
because
definitely.
You understand? You've heard those names. No one's heard of Oleksandr Usyk
Yeah,
unless
exactly,
you
yeah,
were inside boxing. But
They would hate to see him lose against Wilder.
do you know what I would like to see? And I think it's hard. I think it might be a tough ask now because like when you're a beast and you've got a ridiculous animal instinct and you just go and kill what's ever in front of you. That's one thing. You can refine that and turn that more tidy, more sensible, less of a risk taker. And I think that's what they did with AJ over the years. But it's hard to then flip it back. Once you've become a kind of more safety first fighter and you want to have a look, it's so hard to then make almost naive decisions to just jump on people and try and kill them because it's a risk. Like you're almost too intelligent for it. These are things I would do at 20 I just wouldn't do at 30 because I'm too aware of potential consequences. So you get more sensible as you get older. That's my only problem. I think he might have a problem trying to like rejig like the part of him that almost threw caution to the wind and just flew off the fight.
Do you feel like do you feel like there's a part of him, a part of the dog in him that might have gone a bit?
Yeah, but I think that's with age. I think that's with like trying to get better. It's like Pacquiao. The same thing, I promise you, happened to Pacquiao. Pacquiao at his peak was a boxer, but it was basically martial arts. Like he was just going, bah, 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 bah. He was just going crazy. And then over the years, they made him a better boxer.
Right.
But that made him easier to deal with for people that were pure boxers.
Right.
So Mayweather handled him far easier when they did fight than he would have 6 years prior.
Right.
Because he was more of a whirlwind than Pacquiao. And I think we've got the same thing where I think AJ might need to find a way to turn back the clocks and become a little bit more of a whirlwind, destroy everything, fuck what you heard, fuck what you saw, like I'm here. But it's hard because age brings maturity brings
of course
better decisions,
all
of that.
Because he does
it's
seem
weird.
like he's growing into like
Yeah.
aside from the sporting aspect and the competitive nature, he just like he's just grown into like a really
He's growing.
Yeah, but like mentally. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you can see that in him as a man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like he's such a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you, do you what was I was gonna say? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Do you think that maybe with that being said, like with him almost growing into like being in almost a certain stage in his life, just a complete like on a personal one or whatever, Do you think that maybe you might get the best fights from him when his back is against the wall like this now though? So what I mean by that is that like not as in the actual fight, but it's like, you know what, he's lost.
Yeah.
He lost in front of God knows how much people.
Yeah.
It probably feels on social media when you have your phone like the whole world has these mad opinions on you or whatever. Yeah. Now, what you can fall into two sections when something like that happens. Either you are overconsumed by it and it feeds into your insecurity even more, which then puts you in a vulnerable situation because do you understand what I'm saying? Where I'm going with that? Or it can make you say, you know what, you see this doubting thing, and I think I said this to you before on the last problem we was talking about something like this, when I was saying, you know what, I feel like maybe AJ needs to use this energy that is towards him in that moment of loss, where everyone's now doubting his chin, everyone's doubting his ability, everyone's doubting whether he could beat this person and that person, and use that as something now to say, all right, cool, I'm going to use that to motivate me a completely different type of way and bring something different out of him.
It could, but it could not.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, it could, but who knows? Obviously, motivating is like, I don't think he's ever had a problem with motivation. He gets up and trains hard every day, like, regardless of how much money he's made, how much titles he's got. Like, motivation's not
There's
his
different
issue.
levels to motivation.
There's different levels.
You can get up and train every day.
I always get the impression that he's at the races, like he's present every time he trains, like he tries, like as in he's there. Like that's the impression I get. The problem isn't motivation like that, but as in, when your back's against the wall, sometimes you get.
There's a difference. There's
a difference. But I don't think his back's. I don't think it's not the people that's going to put his backs against the wall. Everyone's behind him, but his back is against the wall by Usyk, I think. So, for example, he's got a rematch clause. Should he activate it? And he will. I'm pretty sure. I'm 99.9% sure he will. Because
he will want to.
He'll want to. He'll want those belts back.
Yeah.
But if he's human, there'll be a part of him thinking, we're in the part of this where this one really matters. Like, for example, he got outfoxed in this fight. Yeah, he got out everything, but as in he got outfoxed. And now he has to make a decision on if he takes the immediate rematch, being able to almost undo everything that happened in that fight, and a lot happened in that fight.
Yeah.
So, and it's a risk, like, for example, I don't think the public, obviously you get a big reaction on Sky Sports, all of that, people are talking about it. Give it till Tuesday and this would have blown over anyway. But in terms of fighting Usyk again in an immediate rematch, there's real dangers there.
Yeah.
Real dangers, because if Usyk beats you again, then you got people on you.
Yeah. I mean, what I would say is that I think everyone is behind him, and I'm definitely behind him. But I think that, like, sometimes in a moment of, I've never been there. I don't understand. I can't relate to that. But I do think on a human level, sometimes you take a loss here, and it probably does feel like,
it'll feel like
your mind starts playing tricks on you. That maybe people have lost faith in you or whatever it may be, and I think that you can. That can play some type of trick on you. But I do think that he can bounce back from that. What I would say is that, like, from a business aspect, there's a lot of money to be made in the rematch and stuff like that. But I just think, you know what, taking all of that away, and this is just my own uneducated opinion, innit, I'm like, forget the money, forget about everything else, and say, you know what, I'm going to take one fight before that to try a couple of things out. I'm going to try a couple of things out.
So that's what I'm going to ask you then. If you're AJ...
I wouldn't want to do that. If you're asking me, my own ego is going to be like, I want to fight tomorrow.
No, but all right. Forget the ego part, because he'll be having this battle in his own head as well, I'm assuming. If you are you, then, and you lost the fight, and you weren't really in the fight, like, as in you lost the fight, like, someone out there. And now you got to fight them again, but the risk is you fight them again straight away and you lose again, then people will consider you done. Do you want to fight them immediately?
I'm trying to take one fight beforehand to try a couple things out.
And I think, I can't remember, like, if I heard correctly, but I think there might even be that in the contract where he might be able to take something in the middle. But what would you be trying to do if you was AJ in that tune-up fight?
You know what? I would leave that for you as my trainer to tell me what to do.
Bro,
yeah,
I would get.
I'm just saying
a sacrificial lamb.
Right.
Yeah, put him in front of me.
That's what I'm saying.
Literally,
give me someone to work.
Don't feed or water me for a week.
Yeah,
and put me in front of the sacrificial lamb
and make me
just whack him. Like, I need to.
We could do this in front of 100,000 people or no one. I don't give a fuck about that. I need one more thing first.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that to you as my trainer to get this in front of me so I can try a couple of things out and whatnot. Maybe without giving too much of the game plan away.
Bro, I think the game plan's where things... I get... He was saying before the game plan's to win. I think you need a bit more than that, obviously. But I think with Usyk, forget a game plan, because his game plan is to bamboozle you. And your game plan has to be to fuck him up. Hit anything. Hit arms, hit chest, hit gloves. Just make him feel the sheer weight and size of you. You can't beat him at chess because this is his game. That's how I would feel. That's what it looked like. Looking in on it, it looked like there was too much. It became too much of an even playing field. Bully him.
Yeah.
Bully him. That would be my game plan. Bully him. Fuck it.
So where does he go? Where does he go from here? Like, obviously, I know some people. It was obviously like fucking. Obviously, the Tyson and AJ fight's probably not gonna happen for a long time now.
I think it's close. I think it's still there.
Well, what does that in best case scenario? What does that look like? End of 2022.
Who knows? I think it depends on when this rematch happens. The eye doesn't look like it's gone. The swelling wise and all of that. So like it depends when they get this rematch.
That's probably not. But if you're going to take an educated guess, surely that is not going to happen until like April next year or something.
No, it'll happen later. It'll be in the summer or in the fall or whatever it is.
Of next year?
Yeah, but I think that's kind of when it would happen. And it only costs you 3 months. I don't think it costs you that much.
So it would happen what? What do you mean? So when do you reckon they would fight?
I reckon AJ and Fury, just suppose...
AJ and Fury in the summertime? Next year?
Yeah, either summer or the winter, I would have thought. Because Fury's fighting in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So as in, it just depends.
But that doesn't matter. Like, the outcome of that, because AJ lost, and for what Fury wanted to do and what everyone seemed like they had in the pipeline, everything is obviously delayed.
Do you know what could work best though, yeah? Just suppose this. Obviously, Eddie Hearn's a great salesman and he can sell anything. If there was a rematch and AJ threw caution to the wind and said, fuck it, I don't care about your skills, I'm smashing through you. Fuck your skills. And he did it. Yeah? And it comes good. That is almost the best dress rehearsal and for Tyson Fury. And it sends the perfect message. Fuck this boxing thing. Not fuck this boxing thing. Obviously box where you can. But I'm saying that is for me, the version of AJ that would be needed to beat Fury anyway.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's the same difference.
I hear what you're saying.
You don't want to really box like that with Fury.
Yeah, no way.
That's what I'm saying. You kind of actually need to become a monster to fight him anyway. Yeah. So if you do it, just suppose you do it and you get past Usyk and you've beaten him and you've smashed him, all of a sudden you can beat your chest and be like, this is what I've been missing, bring me Fury. And the public's going to eat it up.
Of course. But all I'm saying is that this rematch is, if they do have an immediate rematch, it's not happening until next year. Yeah. And if it does happen, this is in the best case scenario, yeah. If they do fight next year, usually don't these fights sort of, I could be wrong in saying this, but I feel like these type of fights, for whatever reason, usually always fall around April, like March or April or something.
Yeah, they'll do.
There's something special around that month.
They might. No,
let's say best case scenario, that is that. Yeah. And then he wins. Yeah. Let's hope he wins in that. Yeah. Then flipping. Surely they're not going to fight until this is best case scenario.
This time next year.
This time, maybe this time next year.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's best case scenario.
Yeah, but fights like these take a while anyway. They always take a while.
Whereas obviously, the greedy fan. Yeah, the greedy fan and the casual fan wants to see this now. I might be dead by the time.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if AJ had won the other day and Fury wins in 2 weeks' time, that didn't make the fight any closer. Like, negotiations broke down.
Exactly.
As in, like,
but wouldn't you take an educated guess to say that, like, if AJ won and Tyson won, that now surely, bro, this is not going to be another year's delay.
I have seen this so many times. I don't believe a fight is even happening until it happens. Until I at least see money like spent on press tours. Right. That's when I know you're in now.
And even then,
yeah, people can pull out and that. But at least that's when I know contracts are done. Blah blah blah. It's only stupid little things that can pull the fight off. But until then, well, like how many times did we hear the fight's done, the deal's done?
Yeah, of course.
This date. Then that date, then that, and then it's boxing, and it's just how it is.
The last one thing I want to say on this though, is that, like, the one thing that does worry me sometimes when I watch an AJ fight is, like, I always get a level of anxiety. Firstly, I don't know what it is, but when AJ loses, it cuts deep with me.
Yeah.
It's like it's like my brother, like it's like my brother or cousin, one of the man them, like I proper fuck with AJ, innit?
Yeah.
So it's like my investment to him winning is a lot larger than it is. It's like it's almost it's like it's just
you feel sad because you feel I don't know, it felt sad. I felt sad watching it. Do you know what I'm saying? Even though I could understand
the Ruiz one was sadder for me though. And the reason why that one was sadder for me is because it was a different country. Then people over there was already chatting shit about him and that.
Yeah.
And then like, that one hurt me, bruv. I can't even.
But do you know what?
I was so happy.
It's just it happens.
Of course.
Money May is like one of the only ones that ever. This don't happen. Like you get beat, but you just gotta bounce back.
Yeah, this is it. All I was gonna say is that like there is a level of anxiety that I get sometimes when I see some of the fights where he's being hit, because I'm like, sometimes it seems as though he's getting hit so clean, and it reminds me of there's a UFC fighter called Kimura Usman, yeah, who's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
But he just gets hit all of the time, yeah. He always seems to walk through them, and he always seems to win. But it's like, maybe someone just hasn't hit the sweet spot with Kimura in it, yeah. Because people don't need to hit you hard. Yeah. They just need to hit you in a sweet spot in it, yeah. But it's like, when I'm watching him fight, I want him to win so much, but he does. Yeah. But he's always getting hit in the head, which gives me a level of anxiety.
It's just part of it. Unless you've got like really small movements and
but you know that you have certain fighters though that are like, obviously you're always going to get hit.
Yeah.
But some are quite good in their defense, and you can see it's evident that they're good in their defense. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then you got some that are like, they're just super tough, and it's like no matter how much you hit them in the head, like Kimura, it's like, you get me in my head. He's got his level of confidence is so up that it's like, I know you're gonna box off my face.
I don't care. I'm trading.
But I do not care. See, when I hit you the same way, it's a completely different thing. I can take your one. You can't take my one.
But has he lost? Or has he lost recently? Has he got an air of invincibility about him?
Kimura hasn't lost for time. Let me just check.
He must have. I'm guessing, because you know when you're like that,
I don't think I've even seen
you're intimidating to whoever's in front of you.
Let me just check his MMA record, because I know that his loss. Yeah, so his last loss was in 2013.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, right now he's in his bag,
and it wasn't even in UFC.
He is walking through man and battering them. Yeah. He's got an air of invincibility that helps him, and it makes the other youth scared. Right. Whereas when you lose that,
it's not the same.
Bro, you see in heavyweight boxing, you can go from being the most feared to the most hunted in one fight. It don't take long. No. All it takes is for one person to get to knock you out or to beat you, and everyone else is like, hold on. Yeah. Nah, I can do that as well. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I personally think he needs to get his that air of intimidation and invincibility back to be able to. That fight was too comfortable for Usyk. Yeah. He didn't get lent on. He didn't get bullied, pushed, clinched and feel the weight, all of that kind of stuff. It was too comfortable. I think in a rematch, AJ would try and make it uglier. Yeah. AJ tried to fight a beautiful fight that is probably not his fight to fight. So I'm saying it looked beautiful for Usyk in the end. And now, if I was AJ, I would be looking at it like, all right, cool, like, let's throw that one away. Fuck it, it's done. I lost, but I went 12 rounds. And next time round, he's going to feel like a cruiserweight fight and a heavyweight.
Yeah. Man is saying he's got to fight Tommy Fury now.
Who Mark said that, innit?
Fucking dickhead. Someone else said he's got to fight Bouncer. But let me tell you something. AJ, man name's behind you still.
Come on.
Yeah, proper. Do you know what I mean? I have every faith that, you know, he will be able to come back from this and, you know, get some numbers on the board. Do you know what I mean? The man name's behind him. People are rooting for him and stuff. And so, yeah, man. Good luck with whatever it is that the team and that decide to do. Trust me, man. Everyone's there for him still.
And if you're watching,
can I get one joke off?
If you're watching this, don't box him.
Yeah,
don't box him. Don't box him. That's his game. Go get him. That's how you fight him. You gotta fuck him up. You have to. There's no point. Box a little bit, then get him. Like, you box for too long, and like Usyk's a snake charmer, man. I see him do it all the time. Before you know it, you're throwing feints and doing little things that you don't even do in fights because he's doing it. He's a snake charmer. Fuck him up.
Can I just say one thing though?
Go on.
What I'm gonna need, AJ, yeah? This is what I'm gonna need still. I'll tell you this obviously if you was here. You gotta come and sit on the couch of the man and that as well. Still, yeah. See the next fight though. I'm gonna need you to come out to like some rap music or some pot of paper.
Nah, he done the pot of paper.
Wait, let me just finish. I'm gonna need some of that because see this Afro thing stuff. It's not working out.
Oh, it hasn't worked twice,
brother. The Skeppy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember the Madison Square Garden and that.
Yeah.
Energy.
And then
right, and then this one, the Afro. It's just to come out with one of I love Afro beat music and whatever the vibe is and that. Yeah. But we're gonna need some rap music this time.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe just
if
do you know what?
Scraps bust case,
I think
if he bust case, bring him out with man.
Yeah.
Yeah. If one of them man from Church Road or whatever, Clavish.
Do you know what?
Get Clavish.
I think do drill for this one here.
A young, I don't know,
drill.
Digger D. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Or Ross Clark Central Seas from Bush.
What does that mean?
One of them, man. Is there a drill done from Watford?
There has to be.
Yeah, get one of them drill dons from Watford or whatever,
That's
young
it.
Hertfordshire. You get what I'm saying, yeah? Then that. Because I feel like
next fight just has to be violence, bro. Sanctioned violence.
it's got to be that.
Has to be.
It's got to be that. And you know what? In the music, unfortunately, you might have to hear a man talk about Dick Man down in it.
Yeah.
We're going to need some of that.
Get in the room with a pokey.
Yes.
That's it.
What? With the big long... You understand what I'm saying? Bro, go in the ring with the 4-5. Go in the ring, just have it in there and take my man with the long hair and that. Yeah, that's always got it tied back. Just tell him to take it out and whatever, because it might give you a different type of thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Go in the ring with the big 4-5.
I think the next time, the good thing is they get to run it back, but when you run it back violently.
Have you got petrol?
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I didn't even know about all this petrol bullshit. Yeah, until
you needed.
Imagine, yeah, the other day I went 2 days ago. I went Sainsbury's. I was thinking, why is there bare cars in front of me?
There you go.
And I just put in a young 3.0, and I didn't know that this was probably going to be the last time I could put petrol in for the next few days. So I've still got a quarter tank or something like that. But
I'm struggling, bro. I've got a cabbie.
I don't know what's going on.
Did you?
Fam, I've got no petrol in my car, bro. And do you know what the maddest thing is? Yeah, I tried to drive around last night at 3 o'clock in the morning on an empty tank to find petrol, and I found no petrol stations barring one, and the queue was it was unreasonably long, bro. It was imagine this is how long the queue was, bro. It was from Perivale all the way back to Hanger Lane up to the roundabout.
No way.
And this was at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I said, you know what? I can't do that. I just can't even do that. But you know what? It's the same, bro. I went and I put a young 3.0 in my car, and then I'm coming home. I did a big drive or whatnot, yeah. I've come home and I'm seeing bare people in the petrol station, but I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought, why is there queues like that? Then someone said to me, I need petrol help. I'm like, what are you talking about? So then I started to realise that because I haven't listened to LBC properly in a while. I realised that there was the petrol shortage and shit like that. But I knew that something like this was going to happen anyway, because I was listening to LBC time ago and they had a segment on lorry drivers.
Yeah.
And they were talking about that. They were talking about the lorry driving industry, yeah. And they were saying that there were lorry drivers that were talking from two angles. One was the Brexit angle. Yeah. Obviously the shortages in drivers and stuff like that. But then there was the other side of lorry driving at one point, once upon a time, was almost like a family generational thing as well. Okay. So you had your granddad did it, your dad did it. It was like a thing that would happen. But now the young bucks ain't really trying to drive lorries like that anymore. So that's another thing that has shrunk it, along with the whole Brexit thing. And also what they were saying is, you see, come Christmas, because of the lack of drivers and shit, even things like McDonald's and that are going to be massively affected, because they're not going to be able to keep up with the demand of, the Christmas, everyone's back outside. Yeah, this will be the first Christmas where everyone's outside. Yeah, so you could just imagine now what that's going to be like. Yeah. And it's mad.
It's mad.
It's actually mad.
There's a petrol station by Queensway. I know it's in Central, but that's calm.
What do you mean it's calm?
No queues.
No queues.
No queues.
Well, yeah.
What, the Shell?
Is it a Shell? There's a little Waitrose there, right next to Hyde Park. Yeah, that one. Yeah, no queues.
When?
Today.
Is it? And they had petrol?
Yeah. Those cars pulling in there calmly like normal.
Well, listen, see, this is what happens. Do you know, there wouldn't have been a problem if the media didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000,000%, bro.
If the media didn't say nothing, everyone would have kept the car that they don't drive, that is outside, that is on half a tank, that they're not even probably going to use during the week either, would have just sat there and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Now, everyone wants to go and fill up the thing and do all of that, put a tenner in there.
Yeah.
People are queuing up to put a tenner in the fucking tank.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And people are boasting about it as well.
No.
It's like people
I can't believe it.
I saw someone was saying that people are fucking, like, people that usually only put a tenner in their car anyway are now going and filling up their tank and boasting about it like they just got a new bus down.
And,
Hey,
the big problem it's causing is that emergency services aren't able to get petrol for the fucking ambulances.
Yeah.
It's become a serious problem.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
So apparently there's some petrol stations that aren't selling diesel to just any man. They're keeping it for emergency services only.
That's smart.
Apparently.
I would say anyway, you know what, yeah? You see, like, all the Brexiters and that, yeah? There's jobs now, bro.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
There's some lorries parked up,
Yeah.
cuz. There's some fucking lorries parked up.
Get a HGV
Go and
license.
get, like, yeah, bro. You understand what I'm saying? No disrespect to the Brexiters that are, like, maybe more the lower class, the benefit ones or whatever, because it's not just you that were voting Brexit and that. So I'm not just targeting you. But you know what? If you're struggling for something and you're on, you know, the UC, Young Universal Credit or whatever it is, yeah? There's a lorry.
In it.
Yeah? There's a lorry. Jump in one.
Yeah.
They're all parked up. Go and jump in one.
Well, how long is this meant to last for? Because I'm gonna need some petrol at some point this week.
Honestly, I don't even know.
I'm going away on
It's a techie one.
Yeah, it has
and
to be
I
done
hope
by
that
the
when I
time.
come back, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It just means that I can't, like, last night I drove around so much, bro.
Is this up and down the country? There's this problem.
Yeah.
Or is it London?
No. This is, to be honest, apparently it started worse outside of London and then it got worse the last 2 days inside of London. Because I think people depend on their cars more outside of London.
Yeah.
So it's more like, oh shit, when the panicking started,
Yeah.
everyone there was rushing.
The media, man. The media obviously helped with all of this to like, you know.
They need to chill the fuck out.
Huh?
They need to chill the fuck out, media do, honestly.
Really.
Taking
Well,
the piss.
expect that this is going to happen a couple of times coming up to Christmas, though. Expect that.
Christmas.
Maybe not petrol as much.
There will be food. It'll be
food. It will be like fast food. It will be like clothing stores or whatever.
Yeah.
I tell you, the only people
Supermarkets
that
are
will
gonna
not be
get hit,
affected by this, Amazon. You think Jeff is going to allow something like this to happen?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Well, funny thing is, the Amazon Mercedes vans that they use, electric, bruv.
They're electric.
They're electric.
Yeah,
what I'm
this is screaming go electric now still.
So what,
Yeah, man.
You know, I did something on my Instagram yesterday.
Yeah, the electric car one
I
was right.
I was saying I haven't seen no conspiracy theories yet. You know, like usually, like a conspiracy theorist would come out and say some shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I ain't even seen any of that. So I was asking people on my gram, like, what do you think a conspiracy theorist would say for why there really isn't any petrol? Like, what would they say? And some people had some funny ones still. A lot of them were they were funny, but some were just like very what you would probably hear people say, where it's like, oh, they're trying to push people in the electric car thing and that. Which, even if that is the case, like, what would be the bad thing about that?
Yeah.
They're under more control. They can control more. So, for example, with Tesla, I've heard if you miss your finance payment or whatever, they'll just, your car won't start.
Is
Yeah,
it?
they can turn your car off.
That's more of a manufactured thing, not a government thing, though, to be fair.
Let's get involved.
Hey, we don't
reckon eventually.
we don't live in a democracy, you know?
No.
Imagine that if you're just driving somewhere and they're just like, you know what, you didn't run us a pit. They just lock the windows, lock the door, just like, you're coming with us.
Yeah,
know,
you just got to stay in a whip. Could you imagine that?
Bro, you know, even with
Bro, we're not
petrol-
Man's sitting outside Ross Clark Mayfair Sexy Fish with a tick in his car.
Shit, man.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Oh mate.
You know, even with modern day petrol cars, like you can shut off an engine remotely anyway. They've been able to do that for a long time.
Is it?
Because they're mostly like electric based now anyway. Not as in like electric drive,
Yeah,
but
but
ECUs and whatnot. apparently governments have been capable of doing that for a couple of years anyway.
They can do what they want, man.
Yeah.
I told man anyway. I said I watched a documentary time ago about like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist like that, but
neither.
they was just saying that at some point, yeah, if you got issues with the police or whatnot, yeah, like everything within you is done by your finger or just by you, innit, yeah. So the door opens, it specifically knows it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So boom, now if the feds is after you, say you fucking got caught, like they find out that you got the big 4-5 in your yard or whatever the thing is now, yeah, and they're after you. When you go Tesco's now, the doors don't open. Like if you're trying to go shop,
You
like,
said this a while ago.
Yeah, some time ago.
That, yeah.
Like it was probably. I'm gonna try and see if I can find it so that you lot can watch it. But it's literally your car don't start. You can't go nowhere, bro.
You just got
to stand on the road and wait.
Park, yeah.
You just got to wait. You what?
Go park.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Oh, listen.
Aye.
Fucking hell. Let's get out of here then. Thanks. Is there one thing that people need to know about? Have you got
this week, obviously, the real boxing starts.
Go on.
So, obviously, we've got Chris Eubank, obviously, fighting 2nd of October, Wembley Arena. And that's Sky Sports. That's the lot I'm working with. I'm working with Boxer.
Right.
So our thing launches. It starts October 2nd, then we got a fight October 16th, then we got one November 6th. We're all over the country now, but as in Sky Sports, just lock in, man. Give us those ratings.
Sick. That's sick. Calum, you got anything?
Nah, but on that topic though, because I never have anything. People listening, DM me some shit that I can actually say, please. Like, if you've got something, like, cool, or if you're...
Someone messaged me and said, Calum ain't never got shit, bruv.
I haven't.
Someone actually messaged me and said that.
I haven't. But yeah, no, if you've got a friend that's doing something cool, like, if you have something, a brand or whatever, I don't care what it is, but if it's cool and interesting, just DM me, and then I'll shout out.
Alright, say no more. I don't have nothing, actually.
But you haven't got anything this time?
Nah, I don't.
Shit, man.
But thanks for listening, everyone, yeah? Love.